Alright, today's video I'm going to talk about the new Brompton's 12 speed based on the video they released. I did not go Funan. I was told that Funan has an actual product there, but I would like to go through how I view it based on the video. Alright, this is the video. Alright, and I will zoom into interesting section. I will talk through it. Alright, so this is the new hub that they show on the video, and it's called WWC1 hub. And then this is the parallelism derailleur that they are using today. And according to the video, that this 12-speed Brompton's only available on the P and the T line, right? The main reason for that is because the parallelism mechanism mount has to be on the new P and T line, whereas the OA or C or previous generations Brompton, you can't mount Brompton stock parallelism derailleur, but then as we all know, there are a lot of third-party products right now from Hong Kong, Taiwan, that you can actually have the parallelism mechanism mounted onto the previous generation Brompton as well as the A and C line. Right, so it's not an issue. Now the question is really the hub. This brand new hub is very interesting because you can see this part is very big, right? And then this part is very small. And then, of course, this part where the spokes go through is almost right in the middle of the dropout, which is still 112 mm. Now, an interesting change is this part, which is called the freehub body, or Bromptons like to call it the driver. And the driver mounting mechanism, this is still Shimano, 9 spines. And then the sprockets or the cassette locking mechanism, as you can see, is no longer the circlip system. So they'll go back to the Brompton, the Shimano lock ring mechanism, like the current P line or the T line, right? Now, bear in mind the older internal hub from Brompton, the BWR or the standard ratio, they are using the circlip system. So this is the handlebar mag, as you can see, and we anticipated this when the rumor came out they're going to do a 12 speed, which is they're going to use back what they have today, which is the right hand 1, 2, 3 shifter for the internal gear hub, like BWR or standard ratio, and the same shifter, meaning the same gear ratio, is going to be used onto the new WWC1 hub. And bear in mind, this gear system pull ratio is not equal, right? So it's the short and the long throw, right? So remember that. And Brompton, as usual, as expected, they are going to reuse the P and T line left-hand shifter, the 4-speed left-hand shifter. This left-hand shifter should be rated at 10 speed because if you look at the P and T line, they are using the 10-speed chain, right? So the cable pull is 10-speed rated. So what they have positioned in this 12-speed Brompton is 1, 2, 3, right, for internal gear hub. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so this is how the 12 speeds come about. And how Brompton position their internal gear hub is interesting. They kind of advocate you to go on gear 2, which is what they call the most versatile, suitable for most riding. And gear 2 is actually 100%, right? The gear ratio is 100%. That means you crank the chainring 1 round, the wheel will go 1 round, right? So in a way, there is no gearing at all. So this is the same as the Brompton wide ratio. So they will advocate go for gear 2, and then The left hand 1, 2, 3, 4 is your minor gear go up and down, right? The fine tuning of going up and down. And when you come across a slope, what you can do if you run out of gear is to move to gear 1. So for gear 1, is preferential for inclines. That means you go up slope, you push it to gear 1, and then you go to a lighter gear. And again, on the slope, you can use the left hand 1, 2, 3, 4, external 1, 2, 3, 4 to do your fine tuning, right? So for gear 3, it is where you want to go Taramena super high speed, right? So you go to gear 3 and then again use your left hand 1, 2, 3, 4 for fine tuning. Now I believe the smallest sprockets for the external is 11. So you can have a 11T at back and then go for your maximum speed on gear 3 on your right. So now let's look at the gear inch, right? This is gear inch. From over there, the lightest gear to the heaviest gear, or the slope gear to the speed gear, right? So I'm not going to talk more about the Brompton 2-speed and 3-speed or the 4-speed. So the main comparison that you want to compare is the Brompton wide ratio, which is this blue line over here, all right? And then the 12-speed, which is broken into 3 red lines over here. All right, and over here, the comparison, they are using 50T chain ring, right? And then according to them, or according to this calculation, the Brompton BWR with sprockets of 13 and 16T, you'll get 300% gear range, whereas the new Brompton 12-speed with 11 to 18T, you get 406% gear range, which is very wide, right? But in my personal opinion, with my Brompton BWR stock 50 as well, 50T chainring as well, I never run out of top speed, right? Maybe it's my leg muscle, right? So I can't spin like a hamster on Taramera, right? No traffic light and all that. I can't outspin the Brompton BWR with 13T, right? So for those people who needs, if you outrun from BWR standpoint, you can upsize your chainring from 50T to maybe 54, or some even go 56 with the risk of you cannot fold because of hitting the front hook. All right, so put that aside, then I just compare apple to apple 50T, BWR, and the Brompton 12-speed. What you can see is at gear 1, you are somewhere over here, right? And the gear 6 is over here. And if you look at Brompton 12-speed, the gear 1 is here, right? And the gear 12 is over here. Now, the thing interesting to note is they did not use Brompton 6-speed BWR for the 12-speed config. The internal gear ratio has changed to avoid overlappings of gears, right? So even they have done the 12-speed new hub, WWC1, the overlapping of gears is still there. So you can see there's an overlapping of gears, right? Which is not desirable per se, right? You want everything to stretch out even more if they design it nicely. But because of the gear ratio is the 3/4, so you unavoidably you will have overlapping. So for BWR, the gear from here to here, and for some reason they never draw this line. So it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 gear continuous, and you can see that the gear ratio of 1613, the purpose of using it is this is almost in the middle of the 2, or this is almost in the middle of that 2. The 3 is almost in the middle of that 2, and then this is almost in the middle of the 2, right? So that's how they choose 1316 configuration for the sprockets. So if you look at it, do you need a Brompton 12-speed? Of course, everybody want a new Brompton. new stuff and all that. But if you look at it, what do you gain out of it? You get more speed, you pay a little bit more, but it's available only on the P and T line. I believe it will be available on the C line because I look at the introduction. They actually kind of put C up there. So if you use the C line, you change the rear triangle, you can actually have this on the C line. The P line is for performance. Yep, you have very high speed, right? Performance, and then light, because you have titanium fork and also the rear triangle. And of course, you have that on the T line because its focus is weight, right? So going on 4 speeds, okay. But if you put this hub, apparently it's still very heavy, right? The weight for the Brompton 12 speed on the P line is over 10 kg. All right, so the titanium fork and rear triangle saving is about 700 grams. So if you put this hub in there, the hub is about 1 kg. You lost the benefit, right, of that lightness for P line. But if you put it on a C line, it will be very similar to the current C line, almost 11 to 12 kg per se. All right, so you get very good top speed. Now, if today you are on a BWR and you run out of top speed, what you can do, like I said earlier on, is to upsize your chain ring to a bigger chain ring. That will give you a better high speed. But then, if you change it to 54, your slope climb may have challenge. So a lot of people ask, hey, Sifu, should I upgrade, downgrade, change the size and all that? So my very first question to you is always, do you run out of sport slope or do you run out of speed? If you run out of speed, then change the chain ring, right? If you to a bigger one. If you run out of slope, you change the chain ring to a smaller one, downsize to 48 or 44, and then you go on slope. But if you want the best of both worlds, you want high speed and then able to attack a very steep slope, then there is nothing really for you unless you do what I did on my BWR. I convert it to a 3x3 using the third party like 360 or Pikes right hand shifter. Then I can have a 13, 15, and a 17 sprockets, right? The 17 sprockets will give me that slope, better slope. And then the 13 is the same as the stock, so I'll get the maximum speed, right? So it's really up to you. What do you want for your bike? If you want more speed, or you want more slope, or you want both, right? There must be a trade-off. And then if you want speed, I assume, if you outrun BWR on the 50T, you will not have problem on the slope because of your leg muscle is there, right? So I'm being a very typical leisure rider. I don't run out of speed, I don't run out of slope. All right, so but if I convert to my 3x3, what I get is better slope, and then the top speed is the same because it's still the 13T. But if you really want so many gears and all that, go for the 12 speed, right? You'll get even better range on your slope, and also you can go even faster, right? Depending on your leg muscle as well. All right, so to buy or not to buy is really up to you. With the new color coming on this year, and then with you want a titanium, you want to go titanium frame, or you go for the T line, or you go for the P line with the 12 speed. All right, so enjoy your ride, ride safe. Thank you.